PSIS 217, you all know our principal, Madonna Beckman. Executive board right now is the same one that was executive board in fall when we presented. We chose new board, but you know. The story is pretty much similar like every year. What I want to go into is that we've been improving. We are above the city average in any segment. We are comparable with District 2, which is, we are up to on the same level as all top District 2 schools, and we want to go further, and we need help to get there. We work really hard to get money from our families, from doing grants. We get probably about $200,000 a year from just our fundraising efforts. Around 80,000 of that usually comes from our general fund drive, which is families contribute money. Other parts of the money come from grants, from events that we host. Based on the population on the island, we have very, very diverse population in every cent. Based on the most recent 2017-18 New York State data, about 35% of the families are economically disadvantaged. About like 30% are eligible for free lunch, about 18% are eligible for reduced lunch. So we somehow have to compensate in terms of budget for the families who really cannot contribute. And we do manage to collect lots of money, but we do need help. We are asking for money to help us with our enrichments. These are the arrangements that we know as of now that we're going to have next year. That's a music and play station for pre-K and kindergarten, creative movement for first grade, hip hop for second, Salvatore Center for our middle school students, and then the new thing this year, we have our Hawks wrestling team that was a part of a Beats the Street program that was Beats the Street was, the way their status was, they funded everything, and now they decided to change their status, so that program now we have to pay to participate, and we have a very engaged wrestling club, about 35 students. It's an amazing program. They practice a few times a week, they compete with the other schools in a district, so we really want to build that up as a community team as well, as a school team. We also have some middle school students who are part of that wrestling team. Another thing that I wanted to say is that all this, and besides these enrichments, like if we get help in funding these enrichments, that helps us allocate our money to other things that we also need to fund. This year we managed to get workbooks for state test prep for every student in the school. We invested money in curriculum. Like every year we have some consultant who comes, they evaluate, they make recommendations. So we make investments into new curriculum, workbooks, musical instruments, even like some you know, like teacher supplies, rugs for every school, things that you know, the Department of Education budget is very scarce. And if we get money for enrichments, then we can allocate the money to fund something else that is also necessary. And what I wanted to say also, when I was saying about how we already really the school already improved and it's on a very competitive level, and we want even to get further. And there was a recent article in Chalkbeat about school being a model school for the whole United States in computer science. What kids learn and how they learn in PSIS 217, that it's being modeled for the whole United States, how other kids are going to learn. And another thing that was a really big thing this year, we had 3 of our 5th great students. 3 of them got accepted into professional performing arts school. And even administrators in that school said they rarely have 2 students from the same school, let alone 3. That is 10% of the class is coming from Roosevelt Island. And in this slideshow, there was a letter that parents sent them thanking the school and thanking PTA for funding all the enrichments, because that's what helps kids with, with their confidence, with their, also with the academics. That all comes with the confidence. So that's about it. It's just, we work really, really hard, but we've been kind of on the same budget for a really, long time. And no matter how hard we work with the population that, lives on the island and everything, we really kind of hit plateau, and we just need help to go beyond that.
Thank you. Let's see.
And we have just a couple of students from middle school. They were really excited.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Persia Perez and I am 12 years old. I'm here to talk about the PSI's 217 wrestling program. I really hope that you can help our school continue with the program. We just found out that the Beat the Streets will not be able to fund it anymore. I guess they ran out of money. That will be a big loss for us kids if it can't continue. We don't have any other sports in our school. We have a great coach and a nice wrestling team. We have a strong elementary school kids and some strong middle school kids. Most of the younger kids enjoy the wrestling team because it's a fun after-school program that can help them later on in life and teach them discipline. A few of the other older kids like wrestling because it helps them with self-esteem, self-defense, and helps them be more fit. Exercise is very important for kids my age. I have been in the wrestling program since I was in 3rd grade. I'm now in 6th grade. I can't believe that it has helped me become a strong and confident young lady. I am proud of myself because even when I am scared to wrestle, I go on the mat and I give it my all. My parents are proud of me too. I can see it on my mother's face when she's crying her eyes out from the sides. She cries during every fight, even more when I win. Someone give her tissue, she's probably crying now. Can you please help us continue by funding the program? We'll do our best to make you proud. Thank you for listening. Have a good night.
Good evening, my name is Layla Kantz, and I'm in 6th grade. I have been wrestling at the team at PSI's 217 for 2 years, in 5th grade and in 6th grade. I like wrestling because it has made me feel good about myself. It also made my teammates feel good about themselves too. It pushes me and teaches me to continue to push myself. It also teaches me to be supportive of my teammates also. The wrestling team has taught me good sportsmanship which teaches us how to be good, fair, and treat others well, like teammates from our schools and other schools. The wrestling team has made it possible for the school to be proud of ourselves as one team regardless of age and grade. Wrestling has given us a chance to make friends with kids outside and inside of the school. Thank you for your consideration. We all would appreciate if you can help in any way from our school to continue to have a wrestling team. Thank you.
I just want to quickly add, we found out about this right before we started writing the application, and at that time we were only told about fall program and what the fee is going to be for fall, which is $5,000, which we're requesting. And then a month later, when Beat the Streets realized that everybody wants to continue, that everybody wants to do it for a whole year, this is actually going to be at least $10,000 expense for the whole year. But so that's why, like, when we ask for this enrichment, it's just because like things like that happen throughout the year, where we all of a sudden are presented with unexpected expense. So anyway, thank you, girls.
You're welcome.
Okay, we will probably have to limit our questions to one from, if each panel member wants to ask a question. And I apologize for that, but we're under the gun time-wise. Erin, do you wish to start?
No, go ahead. I was looking at different things, but it's saying gender, the genders, it's mixed gender.
It's mixed gender, everything
The
is
ages
mixed
go across the board. I remember when my son was 26, they had a wrestling
Wrestling team is from
way
3rd
back
grade
when.
to 8th grade, and it's mixed gender.
Right, right. And women, I like that.
There is a lot of girls on this.
It's important.
Shirley, you have a question?
Like down here, these girls doing wrestling. We're practicing wrestling, okay? And it's important to them, and it's important to what you do. Maybe one day they might get to the Olympics, who knows?
Yeah.
You know, so I would like to support that. And see them get their fund money back.
So in this, you asked for 5,000 for the Hawks wrestling team, but you're telling us really you need more.
I mean, yes, 10,000 is what's gonna be, but that's like, you know, when we apply for this,
No,
we
I
never,
understand
yes,
how
so
the
$10,000 is the wrestling, is gonna be the
total
cost.
amount that you asked for. Are you willing to take a little less out of something else in order to support?
If we get, that's the thing, we do not want to limit them. We would have to find ways. So if we get money for anything else, we would fund then the rest of the season. Like that's how, you know, the things are fluid. So that's,
priority of these three that you've outlined. You've outlined the usual one, which we always go for the middle school for the Salvatore program. We fund that, thinking the middle school always, just like we lost your 5th grader. The 3 excellent performing 5th graders left before
But it
6th
was-
grade.
the
I
reason-
know it's great.
it's because it's performance,
I understand.
you know, that's
If we
competitive.
still had, you know, but I understand. I'm just saying to strengthen the upper school is important to us. Any choice in where to put the funding? I mean, if you had to pick a priority of these 3 things you're asking for, the dance wave, the Salvatore program, and Hawks, if I'm correct. What you really need or think of the 3.
I mean, music and PlayStation covers 2 grades, and it's like the entry level in the school. It's pre-K and K, and it also is, as we said last time, a lot of our students are from international families, and there is a language barrier, and this program is really teaching them to communicate and to express themselves, and that's how they can bond with their classmates, even if they don't speak necessarily English that well. And also I feel since that's their first experience with the school, it's really nice that, you know, it's a really amazing program. It's once a week for the whole year, and it really, you know, it makes them fall in love with school because it's a very engaging program.
Okay, if you wish to provide additional information, I'm willing to share with the group my email address. If you feel after the presentation you want to provide more, we really are tight on schedule. I apologize.
I mean, for me, as long as you have questions.
How many other, like lower school has always gotten more attention as far as funding.
Everybody gets the same number of, every grade gets enrichment. So every grade gets at least 1 or 2 enrichments per grade.
Right.
That has no matter, that's whether it's elementary or whether it's middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just that middle school is only 3 grades and only 1 class per grade, but they all get at least 1 or 2 enrichments per year. They get Salvatore, they get theater games, they get some Cornell programming.
Do you think it's more helpful to have the enrichment, if we had to choose one, in the beginning with pre-K, and are these students going to stay, or at the end with the children who have chosen to stay in your school, like decided not to go into the other schools or in your upper school, to prepare them and give them something extra to get a better high school with?
Then, I mean, the way you say it, yeah.
Just
But
asking,
again,
which, you know, it's a hard choice for everything, right?
Okay, that sounds more
like it's like which of your children you like the most, you know, kind of question.
all children.
Yeah.
That sounds to an extent more an administrative consideration out of the school administration itself. But thank you for that, and once again, I'm willing to volunteer my email address if you feel you need to provide some additional information, because unfortunately, we're time constrained here.
One question, one question.
Okay, we have an audience question.
Hi. So you already answered one of my questions. So my question is on, you mentioned the PlayStation, I think it was the hip hop, the Salvador, and okay. So now I already know the answer to the PlayStation once a week. How many hours or how many days on average? Doesn't necessarily have to be every week, but just on average. For each of
Creative
those.
movement is, I have it somewhere in the application. I think creative movement is it's once a week for 14 weeks, or for 8 weeks, 9 weeks, and then hip hop is once a week for 14 weeks, and Salvadori is also like I think 9-10 weeks we did this year. We decided to do it more enrichments throughout the year, not just one enrichment the whole year.
Okay.
Yeah, so the only one that is the whole year is wrestling club and PlayStation. Everything else is like from 10 to 14
And then
weeks.
the Salvador, you said is about 9 or 10 weeks or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Once a week.
Thank you.
It is listed in one of the like schedules of the application.
Next question, Rick.
Just how much are you seeking for each program in total?
All right.
And is there an enrichment program for upper class students to get into specialized high schools? You know, like Stuyvesant and Bronx Science?
Well, it's not a tool.
All right, so let me just tell you first. So music plays, let me find where I had somewhere. Music and PlayStation, $10,350. Creative Movement, $6,300. Hip Hop, $4,950. Salvadori, $4,950. And Wrestling Team, $5,000. Total is $31,550. I mean, I know there is a lot of enrichment.
School pays for the teachers to work after school and provide the literacy and math work with kids for specialist high school.
Is that for the test to get into Bronx Science?
So the classroom teachers stay after school and work. A literacy teacher and a math teacher works with kids after school.
And how many students, do you know how many students got into the specialized schools?
3 got into the specialized high school.
Out of how many? What was the class size?
Yeah, the class size is 28, but not all of them apply. So when you get
So that's a good
apply,
percentage.
I think half of the kids who
Are,
apply got
are they encouraged to apply?
They're encouraged, but it's also a choice. They go home and speak with their families and make the decision of traveling to Brooklyn, traveling to Manhattan, traveling to the Bronx is a concern for some of our families.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any other audience questions?